Hi, I'm Greg Galla. I'm a partner here and I help co-lead the Partnered Accounting Solutions Group.
Hi, I'm Vince Camisso. I'm a shareholder and I help co-lead the Partnered Accounting Solutions Group. So PAS at TBC means Partnered Accounting Solutions. It's basically an outsourced accounting model where us as the CPA firm would be an extension of the accounting function of a company. It's really anything and everything that a company would want it to be. Technology has really grown over the past couple of years in this arena, and it has created a lot of cloud-based solutions for companies, and that allows for remote capabilities of where the work is performed, whether that's on-site or off-site. There's more data automation, there's increased efficiencies, there's storage and backup functions. An example of this that Greg and I utilize with a lot of our clients is QuickBooks Online. There could also be a manual approach to the write-up of books and records of an entity based on source documents such as bank statements. This could be day-to-day accounting or periodic cleanup of the books. It involves the coding of transactions of an entity. And really, a dedicated PAS team can provide the accessibility to a CPA firm for other services, such as tax or pension administration.
We like to think of it as a one-stop for an internal accounting department that's now outsourced. There's cloud-based options where that gives real-time data to both the people and staff at the client as well as in the office at the accounting firm. So we're talking to each other with up-to-date reports and can have intelligent conversations. So the three levels are your basic bookkeeping, your controller, and your CFO level. Bookkeeping is everything from your day-to-day accounts payable, accounts receivable, month-end close, bank reconciliations. The controller level gets us to a point where we got maybe somebody with 7 to 10 years of experience, hopefully some industry knowledge that can provide some expertise when looking at the data and analyzing it. And they're more of a historical reference. They're not going to be at that CFO level, which is the third level, where that person you're relying on to help you make the tough decisions, the unknowns. They're looking forward. They're for financing, for cash flow management, and they're going to have key performance indicators that help us see where the business is at and where it can go. Those are the three levels. We have staff that can help at each one of those levels. Most of our experience has been within the bookkeeping and the accounting level, but we do have CFO level people here.
All clients really come in a variety of shapes and sizes, so it's just finding where you would fit on the spectrum to help your business. Our PAS team can work with you and your company towards achieving your goals. It's really going to allow company management the opportunity to focus on other important aspects of the company, such as driving new sales, different types of leads, strategies, and leaving the accounting function to another group and really reset that focus. The goal really of our team is to help provide accurate real-time data that can be used by the company decision makers.
So one of the key things here is that we're going to have a staff of accountants that you don't have to worry about. They're trained, they're professional. If they're on vacation or they decide to take another job, it's our responsibility to fill those roles and train them back up. That is one thing that we see all the time in our business, that unfortunately people retire or move on to another job, and now it's on the CPA firm to help find someone new, help train them and get them up to speed. So really we can save you a lot of time and energy by having a staff that knows what they're doing and can be slotted in wherever you need an accountant, whether that's at any one of those three levels, the bookkeeping, controller, or CFO.
There's industry and experience level considerations as well, depending on the type of work and the company is involved. There's really a good flexibility with this structure. Is there a need for 10 hours a week, 10 hours a month? Does that need to be scaled up or down? And it really can help reduce the overall cost of a company with this flexibility versus permanent full-time resources that we think is important.
The industry jargon is fractional. So you can get a CFO, someone that really understands your business, and not be paying them full-time. You can use them for a few hours a month, a few hours a week, but that's something that can be invaluable to a company rather than have to pay them an exorbitant amount of money to only need them for a few hours in a year. So I think that fractional piece can really be a benefit to smaller companies and even larger companies that don't need the full-time CFO or controller level.
Our group can also offer training to the employees on staff. There's a way to help with the assistance and implementation or conversion of an accounting software. The roles and responsibilities of both the client and CPA would be set, so there could be a month-end checklist that each side is working towards that could be replicated each month of the year. There's really another capability that we find invaluable, which is also internal control assessments and review. So different cycles of a company, such as cash receipts, cash processing. We could provide recommendations and help with an implementation plan if that's an area that is of focus to the decision makers.
So we really want you to expect a fully outsourced accounting department. We've mentioned a few times that we're going to have staff that are knowledgeable, they're going to have industry expertise, and they're going to be capable of handling all of your desired requests from us. You're also going to have information that's done timely. We mentioned cloud-based accounting. What that affords us is you could be in Kansas and be doing your daily work and need reports from us where we can provide them. You can see them instantaneously through the cloud-based environment. We also want to be thought of as a trusted advisor. So when you're thinking about a decision with the company, we want to be your first choice to come to us to ask us the question, what would we do? How would you go about fixing it? And that's really what you can expect from us.
Greg and I always talk about it a little bit with, how does that look like visually? So if you picture yourself as the client, picture a wheel, you're the center of that wheel, and there's all these different spokes. Hopefully there's a strong team on every end of that spoke, whether that's a strong insurance agent, a strong banker, finance professional, and a CPA/PAS model is really part of that wheel. Contacting TBC is really step one, and from there we can set up a call or an in-person meeting to really discuss the needs of the entity and really try to tailor those services. So Greg and I have developed a menu of services with a variety of different areas and functions at a company, and that's kind of our starting point to really go through that and check off yes, no, or maybe, and really kind of learn the nuts and bolts of a company. From there, an engagement letter is prepared, which really outlines the scope of the services. And after that, is really the kickoff of the onboarding of our services, learning about the ins and outs of the business for kind of a couple of months before things are really structured going forward.
Yeah, we like to do an initial assessment of the current accounting department and determine where we fit in best, and if the services that you filled out in the menu are truly what we need or what you need. A lot of times you see clients and they think they just need accounts payable help, but then you find out that nobody's reconciling the bank statements, and nobody's talking to the banks, and nobody's doing any cash flow projections. So as you get to know the client and doing an initial assessment helps us get there, you determine really what they need. So we like to do that for 2 to 3 months, and that will help us determine the actual services at the end of that period.
And these services really can be scaled up or down in time. So if there's a change of growth in the company, or a second location, or a certain need, it's a fluid situation. So you're not locked in at this intake meeting. It can evolve over time.
One of our greatest rewards is helping our clients. It's great to see that our process has helped so many, and we look forward to helping you.